My Nearpod lesson begins with an introduction slide that introduces the topic of the lesson, which is types of precipitation. The introduction provides the students with the topic so they can know what we will be discussing in this Nearpod and what they will be learning about. The next slide doesn't pertain to the students, but it does provide the introduction to learning, where it says the Georgia Standard for Science for first grade, as well as the IC Standard for the students setting learning goals and developing strategies to use the technology to achieve those goals. It also sets the expectations of learning that students will be able to identify the different forms of precipitation and identify if they are liquid or solid. The next slide provides I can statements, which further introduce the topic while also providing the students with the expectations of mind for the end of this lesson. The students' I can statements are: I can identify different forms of precipitation, tell the difference between a liquid and a solid, and identify types of precipitation as either liquid or solid. The next slide is an open-ended question slide, where it is a pre-assessment of the students' prior knowledge about liquids and solids. The students have the option to either record their answer or type it. All slides that have typed text also provide an audio recording of me speaking the typed text, so they can play that if they don't or cannot read it. The next slide is an information slide with a provided visual, which shows and displays the 4 different types of precipitation and whether they are a liquid, solid state and what that state is in. So rain is the only liquid state with water, and then the other 3, snow, sleet, and hail, are all solids in the form of ice. This provides a visual image for the students to look at while also learning and retaining the information. The next slide provides a little more information about the 4 different types of precipitation and how they fall from the sky and in what form. The next slide provides information for what they are to do on the following slide, where they watch an ABC Mouse video and answer the embedded questions within it. The video will provide them 3 embedded questions to make sure that they are retaining and comprehending the information that is being spoken about in the video. This will allow the teacher to make sure that the video was not distracting, but rather informative to what the topic is about. The next slide tells them it is time to practice. They are to play the activity Time to Climb and answer the questions to see how high they can climb the mountain. The Time to Climb activity provides them 5 questions, some true/false, some multiple choice. They can go through and answer, and depending on the correct answer and the time and quickness that they answer the questions, they can climb the mountain higher and higher. It's almost as if a competitive game, but it's engaging and intriguing to the students. The next slide tells them that they will do a Draw It activity, where they will draw an example of either rain, snow, sleet, or hail. To summarize and wrap up the lesson, the students will draw an example of any of the 4 types of precipitation. The goal in this is for them to creatively display what they have learned and show that they have retained what was discussed in the Nearpod.